Devil's Village. There was an old abandoned house located deep in the woods. Its origins go back to the 19th century. He said he had been exposed to terrifying events in the past. People in the nearby town traded scary stories about the house. Where it is alleged to be, it is inhabited by an evil spirit. One night, a group of reckless adventurers decide to discover the truth and explore the abandoned house. 5 friends gathered at the entrance to the forest. They were scared and nervous, but they were determined to take on the challenge. When they got home, there was calm in the air and an air of terror surrounded them. There was no light but the faint moonlight that filtered through the broken windows. They began to explore the ancient rooms and dark corridors, and every step aroused terror in them. Suddenly, they started to hear strange noises coming from upstairs. She was making cracking sounds, screams, and eerie laughs. Fear increased among the friends, and their steps to escape accelerated. But it turns out that something is trapping them. While they were running, they discovered that they were trapped inside. Doors close in front of them, and furniture moves strangely to prevent them from passing through. They were screaming and crying out for help, but no one seemed to respond. Suddenly, an evil spirit appeared from the darkness. She was smiling terrifyingly and chasing after them at a tremendous speed. I jumped on one of them and vanished with it into thin air. It kept repeating until it was just one of them. The last person retreated into the dark corner and groaned with horror. He had no other place to go. Suddenly, a bright light appeared in the house, and the evil spirit suddenly disappeared. Suddenly, his friends left the room, and he asked them, "Where did you go?" And they answered, "We were trapped in the room by a group of ghosts." We don't appreciate movement and speech. They told us that you are in trouble now and that they want to kill us all. And suddenly, when the bright light appeared, they started screaming loudly and they disappeared. Then all friends are gone from this haunted house. They will not return to adventures after this horror. The House of Spirits. There was an old and abandoned house located on the outskirts of town. His story goes back many years, where many legends and rumors circulated around him. It is said that it was inhabited by a mysterious family before they all mysteriously disappeared under unknown circumstances. The horror story begins when a group of teenagers decide to venture into the abandoned house on a dark and stormy night. They wished to fulfill the rumors of ghosts and evil spirits circulating around the place. Despite local residents' warnings and harrowing stories, they had no fear and wanted to test their courage. As soon as they entered the house, they began to feel the extreme coldness and terrifying darkness surrounding them. The doors were making terrifying sounds. The furniture is covered in dust and broken. As they explored the upper rooms, they heard voices. Strange and incomprehensible whispers come from dark corridors. Suddenly, they are subjected to a series of terrifying events. Ghostly images appeared on the walls, and furniture moved mysteriously, and they heard terrifying voices whispering in their ears. They began to panic and panic, but they couldn't get out of the house easily. The doors closed in front of them, and they became trapped. The terror was mounting rapidly, and they began to sense someone's presence in the house. They saw moving shadows and heard footsteps approaching them. They were screaming and crying, however. No one could hear them. They were stuck in a real nightmare. In a moment of panic, they finally managed to open the back door and escape. They rushed out of the house and ran away from him with all their speed, feeling very relieved to have survived that disaster. Since then, everyone has avoided passing by the abandoned house. Ghosts and restless spirits are still being reported in that area. A reminder that access curiosity and adventure in dark places. It may lead to a terrible end and horror that a person will live with throughout his life.